over links. Answers over links. I'll show you what I mean. So this is a search for, do I need polarized sunglasses? A friend of my wife said, oh, you got Ray-Bans, but they're not polarized, they're terrible, you can't look at the sun. So I looked up, like, what do I need polarized for? Well, turns out there's a difference between polarized and non-polarized, but you only need them if you're like driving around water or snow, or you're going to be on a lot of water and snow. So polarized, not quite as critical as I thought. That's Google Desktop on the right, that's Google Mobile on the left. You can see there's almost nothing else, right? Like you don't even need to scroll. They're taking away the traffic that would have gone to somebody from there. They're providing the answer as fast as they can. That's what they want to do on mobile. This is that desktop search experience, and they've actually minimized it. Do you remember when you used to search desktop Google, and you would get like expanded map results and have all sorts of cool stuff in there, and features and filters? And now they've shrunk it down to essentially be more like the mobile experience. They're going mobile first, desktop mimics mobile, which I think is a little weird personally, but that's their direction. And they take these answers and then put them at the top of the results. By the way, this one is, come on. That's not helpful at all. So MOZ expected, we saw this on our website, right? This is MOZ for how long should a title tag be? And you would think that this would mean we got less traffic, right? It makes sense. Google's answering it right there. No. In fact, that big bar up there, that actually brought us more traffic. I was kind of shocked. I was very impressed. Definitely speaks to, if one of these is showing up in your search results, you shouldn't go, oh, I give up. You should go, how do I make that me? But some of those answers do remove traffic. These ones, the carousel, right? Google calls it the carousel. This is taking away a ton of traffic from these websites that rank here. Pretty frustrating for them. But Google's trying to provide what they think is a better answer. What are we going to do about it? If you're going to be looking at targeting keywords, right? Or if your agency or your consultant, your marketer in-house is saying, hey, these are the keywords we're going after, you better make darn sure that you are looking at the search result that Google shows for those keywords and deciding, hey, what should we be going after? The instant answer? The maps? Local results? Images? News? Or just classic organic web results? This is a big difference. Big difference. You can actually pursue tactics. Dr. Pete from MOZ wrote a great set of blog posts on how you can be the answer at that top answer box that Google pulls in. I would definitely urge you to check that out and add that to your strategy, because that is a thing that is wholly possible for a talented SEO and content creator to do. Sweet. All right. You should also try to aim to influence search suggest if you can, right? Like, imagine if instead of, so what do we think there are here? Maybe 350, 400 of us? You guys all on your mobile devices? Can I ask you to do a little, you want to try a test with me? Is anyone here from Google who's going to F with this? No one? Great. All right. Let's all do a quick search for New Orleans sunglasses. New Orleans sunglasses. And, oh, well, they're already number one, aren't they? Well, shoot, we were going to click on crew and then they would have become number one. Okay, well, this works though, right? Like if you get lots of people in a geographic area who are all searching around a non-branded keyword, and then they start clicking and preferring a particular brand's results, you get this, right? You get this search suggest where the brand actually rises in the suggestions and the brand rises in the rankings. It's super sweet. Super sweet. All right. Number three. So Google Plus is, it's not completely dead yet, and I'll show you some reasons why maybe you should still be sharing on there and take 30 seconds when you publish something, but it's on the operating table. Like, it does not have long. They pulled most of the life support plugs. It's not looking good. These are the author photos, right, that Google used to show next to your results if you had that author markup from Google+. That was great. I loved it. Super good for branding, super good for click-through rate. Gone. Totally gone. Many of the tie-ins that Google+ had, so Google+ basically had this. You have to use your Google+ account to comment on YouTube. You have to use your Google+ account to register a local business and claim it. You have to use your Google+ account if you want to use an Android phone, right? Like everything you wanted to do in the Google universe connected to Google+. They've been pulling those away, not even that slowly, over the last year and a half, and so that's not really the case anymore. But there's a few elements of this personalization left. If you search for someone and you're logged into your account, and connected to that person, you will see that box there. And they've taken away the social results, kind of, not entirely, but almost entirely, from Google+, and replaced them with a partnership from Twitter. Twitter is actually in, I think by our estimation, it's almost 6%. 6% of all Google searches contain something like this, Twitter results. That's pretty good. I mean, I want to be at 6% of Google results. It's slick. All right, a few things here. First off, I wouldn't remove the authorship tags. If you already have them in place, don't bother removing them. Google has actually said, we don't recommend that. There are some teams that still use those authorship markups. And in fact, if you're logged into your account, your Gmail account, your YouTube account, any Google account, and someone who's connected to you, or someone who's connected to someone you're connected with, or someone you email with regularly, is in there, you will still see the little markup down there. This happens today if you're logged in. I'm going to say that for most businesses, paying attention to Google+ doesn't matter too much anymore, right? This is a big change from 3 years ago when I would have been on this stage like, what are you doing not on Google+? You're crazy. You get all this traffic. And Google's reduced a lot of that. But despite that, or as an aside to that, one of the things I would suggest is what we talked about earlier, where you are influencing that search suggest. Here's one of the things that Google is doing post-Google+ around search history. So let's say that you were to go and click on that result, that sunglasses provider here in New Orleans that we just searched for, Crewe, K-R-E-W-E. You click on their website. 2 days from now, 3 days from now, if you searched for just sunglasses, chances are good that Crewe would come up not only what your device suggests to you to search for, but in the rankings as well. And that's what's happening here with TripAdvisor. I clicked on TripAdvisor when we did that Seattle site search. Now TripAdvisor is in my results. Wow, it's pretty slick. That's powerful. If I could get people searching for my brand, right, bias to my brand, just by having them click once, awesome. I love it. I don't need Google+. I can do that with an ad. I can do that by being the sexiest result on the page. All right. And by the way, don't ignore Twitter. Twitter, in Google's results, please don't misquote this. In Google's results, Twitter is the new Google+. Number 2, classic SEO, all the stuff that you were doing in 2010, it hasn't really decreased in importance. Crazy enough, still smart to use keywords, right? Got to be in there. Still really smart to match your content to what searchers are seeking. Have to do that, hasn't changed. If you have crawl issues, Google's still not going to be able to find you. I feel terrible for this poor restaurant in Seattle. Their designer or developer, when they put up the site, never took off the don't index, no index robust tag. So you can't find it. It's just gone. Nowhere in there. And links are still hugely influential in determining how you rank. But Google's gotten way more picky about which links they're going to count. And in fact, they've shut down a lot of link networks and link manipulation. Things to think about here. If you're going to be doing SEO, you should definitely monitor Search Console, which is Google's new name for Google Webmaster Tools. Or you can use a tool like onpage.org, which is awesome German company that does great crawl monitoring. MOZ also has a tool that does this, that's pretty good. You can do keyword research to match your content, but instead of just saying, oh, I want to target this keyword, today what I'd recommend is group all the keywords together that match a single searcher intent and say, oh, that's what we're going to target on this page. You can target a lot more keywords and variations of keywords on a single page than you used to be able to in SEO because of how Google has evolved. Things like Hummingbird and RankBrain, which you might have heard of, have helped them get there. If you are going to do link building, link earning, you can check out this link building survey of professional link builders in the field and see what's most effective for them. The tactics and strategies, a lot of them that used to work 4 or 5 years ago, are pretty much dead today. Okay. Number 1, last one. Machine learning. Machine learning and engagement. These are the 2 big things on the rise in Google's rankings and in SEO. So, RankBrain, which has many things have been said about it. RankBrain is one of the ways that Google interprets queries and determines what terms and phrases they're relevant to and what types of content they should show in remarks to that. RankBrain is helping Google know that if I search for what's the highest quality mobile phone, they should show me things like 11 of the best phones to consider. Right? It's not perfect keyword matching, it's content and intent matching. And that's advanced, right? That's new for Google. Google has also said, finally, publicly, oh God, it took forever. After years of me standing on stage and being like, okay, everybody click on this. Oh look, it ranks higher for everyone. Google must be using clicks. Google is like, oh, fine, yes, we use clicks. Here you go. So I don't like putting bullet points in slides, but this is from Paul Haar, one of Google's engineers. He spoke at SMX West earlier this year and talked about how they use these signals basically to measure and say, oh, lots of people clicked on this, lots of people bounced off this page. Well, one's a good page, one's a bad page. Someday, in the future, I'm going to predict that algorithms built by machines are going to outperform the ones that Google hand builds by their engineers. Meaning, these potential ranking factors don't get fed in by human beings anymore. The machine says, I got this. I can figure it out, right? You saw it learn to play Go. That was pretty amazing. Although I heard it lost at Magic the Gathering. Like, can beat the world champion at Go, can't beat your grandpa at Magic. That's, All right, what are we going to do? I'm going to recommend you focus on signal to noise ratio very strongly. Bad pages can drag down a great site. You've also got to find ways to beat our competition's click-through rate, right? And that average position. If you can do that, you're probably going to rise in the rankings anyway. So if you can earn more clicks than the people ranking above you, or people in your position on average, you're going to move up. And you've got to serve multiple searcher intents, just like that mobile phone example I showed, right? If I'm trying to rank for sous vide cooking, I can't just rely on a bunch of links, rank for that, and then I'll be fine, even though 99% of people are going to click the back button. I need to serve all of them. I need to serve all of them in order to serve the 1% that I actually want to sell sous vide cookers to. Thank you very much.
Great conversation up here. I think everybody really enjoyed it. So next up, we have CEOs of the 2 largest content discovery platforms. How cool is that, right? And they're going to dive into how recommended system tools have furthered their respective platforms as gateways to interest and modern entertainment. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Rahul Chopra of Storyful, Adam Sepulveda of Taboola, letting the conversation by Joe Lazowskis of Contently.
Tunisian company is a very good company. It's a good product. What? I told them that I want you to give me your card. The Tunisian company about Coke. Did you give? No, Tunisian. Did you give them your card?